Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys had a great night tonight. If you don't know who I am, my name is Shook. I make videos for NBA. I also cover a lot of other content in my Discord. All of these videos get posted on this subreddit right here. It's called DF Sports. I make updates with all of the news that comes out. Unfortunately, today I couldn't make as many updates as I wanted to because I was in. Like 10 minutes before lock, everything just went to absolute shit. And then obviously Discord's a priority for me, so like it was really tough. I tried to do my best to answer all of your guys' questions and stuff like that. And it was hectic. It was a really hectic slate. So I do apologize. But yeah, all these videos get posted here. People talk strategy here. You can ask me questions. I will respond to you, stuff like that. Definitely check that out if that's something you're interested in. If you ever need to get a hold of me privately, you can do so on Twitter at ToryLangley1992. So it's probably going to be a profitable day for me, not with NBA, but with other sports. I think it's going to be a profitable day for me. We'll see what tomorrow holds for PGA and the XFL, but I think I can't show you my full lineup for XFL, but we've been absolutely crushing XFL of late. By the way, Discord link will be down below. I do XFL content, I do NBA content, in-depth videos, player pools, cores for cash, GPP, stuff like that. We have people playing PGA 24/7. We have people playing coming up with MLB. We have people playing esports, stuff like that. So we do everything in the Discord, but it's already a profitable day for me because I got second place in this Call of Duty GPP. Kind of tilting. I should have got first. Well, not should have, but didn't get first by a point, half a point, less than half a point actually. That was pretty tilting, but nothing you can do about it. So locked up a nice profitable day with the second place there for Call of Duty. And then my PGA lineup, I can show you guys my PGA lineup. This lineup is absolutely cooking. If my guys can just do well tomorrow, I think I have a decent shot to take this tournament down. It was only like a 70 field GPP, so first place is only like $300. But hopefully, if my guys do well tomorrow, it should be an easy top three because these guys only have 4 out of 6 or 5 out of 6, and then obviously me, this guy, and this guy have all of 6. I don't know if this guy with all 6 can really catch us, depending on how place differential goes. He doesn't have Scheffler, so I'm gonna need Chef to hold on to that first place. And then we can go over my NBA lineup. So tonight was just insane. One of the most wild slates I think I've ever played in my entire life. One of the most wild slates, and it was crazy. It was crazy. It was absolutely wild. So I honestly didn't know what to do. I was getting hit with a bunch of news. I was answering a ton of questions. I was lost. I was really, really lost on what I wanted to do with my lineup. So the first thing that I wanted, so I wanted either Nick Richards or I wanted Isaiah Jackson. I wanted either, or both. And with all the value, I don't think I could have fit both. Because I wanted Jaden Hardy and I wanted Nemhard. Once we got Jaden Hardy in the starting lineup, I thought he was one of the best value plays on the slate. So I couldn't fit Isaiah Jackson and Nick Richards together because I wanted to get to Jaden Hardy, and obviously I wasn't going to fade Nemhard. So getting off Isaiah Jackson definitely hurt me. Luckily, Nick Richards only scored like 8 fantasy points. I want to say less. Yeah, like 8 fantasy points less. And then Jaden Hardy smashed. I need a little bit more from Jaden Hardy, but Duarte was the nail in the coffin. If you had Duarte today, you just weren't going to cash. One of the wildest games I've ever seen from Duarte. One of the absolute shot 2 of 11, just super super unfortunate. Yeah, if you had a bust in your lineup today, you just weren't going to cash. I went to a low on Drew Holiday. I was really really mad because I really wanted Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I really really wanted him, and I just didn't have the money. I didn't have the money for him, so I went with or I didn't want to leave the salary either. I could have went down to Booker or down to SGA from Booker, and left like, I don't know, over $1,000 on the table. But I didn't think that was necessary today. Or it could have went, I was very, very high on the Chicago Bulls today. All of them absolutely smashed at no ownership. We had some people in the Discord play a lot of the Bulls. Speaking these, Zach LaVine was my favorite of the Bulls. He smashed, Vooch smashed, DeRozan had a great game. So I feel very, very good about that call with the low-owned Chicago Bulls. And then the core that I have for today was Nembhard, smash, Jaden Hardy, smash, Nick Richards, smash, and then unfortunately Chris Duarte was a core play for me and he busted. But I brought it on my lineup with Tatum, Drew Holiday, Devin Booker, Tim Hardaway Jr. Once we got Kyrie out, Tim Hardaway Jr. was one of the best plays, one of the better plays on the slate. Actually, wasn't going to fade him. I was shocked that Booker was this owned. I was shocked. I would have found a way to get SGA in if I knew Booker was going to be this popular. Because I did not think he was going to be this popular. I thought I was going to get him pretty low owned. That did not be the case, and unfortunately, didn't work out for me tonight. One bust, and you were cooked. So that's the way you should go sometimes. But going to be a good night overall, and then hopefully I'll full double up in XFL. Going to be a great weekend, hopefully. Already got my NASCAR entries in. Already got my NBA contests in for tomorrow. So hopefully trying to get my balance back up to over $20,000 by the weekend is over. I think if I just cash all these contests, I think I'll be back over 20. Yeah, I think so. So yeah, let's go over the slate. So we got a little 4-game slate for tomorrow. Not much value that I can say now. We do have some news to keep an eye on. Washington and Philly. Really tough spot. Philly, they play slow. They play very, very good defense. I think this game will stay close. Like, once again, I don't think I can get to Porzingis at almost 9K with everyone healthy. Like, I think he's a fine tournament play. If you need to go there because you don't have the value to go to anyone else, I think it's completely okay. He does have a ceiling, but I just really, really don't like the matchup. But completely fine if you want to go there. I think Bradley Beal would be my favorite play at on Washington at 8,400. I just think the role right now for him is elite. The minutes are absolutely elite for him right now as well, playing close to 40 minutes a game. He's handling the ball a lot more as well. As you can see, Monte and Monte's not playing a ton. Obviously, like Monte and where is DeLon? They're kind of splitting the point guard duties. Did DeLon not play last game? He did. But Beal is running the offense a lot right now. So if I was going to go to anyone on Washington, I think Beal would be that guy. Kuzma, I don't like at all at 7.7K, but he'll play a ton of minutes. I think I'd rather just go to Beal. Like I said, DeLon, Monte, they'll kind of split the point guard minutes. I don't really like either. I think Monte is like an okay value. I think DeLon's a bit overpriced now. Yeah, not too intriguing there. Daniel Gafford has a very, very tough matchup against Embiid. If I knew Daniel Gafford would stay out of foul trouble with not a lot of value on this slate tomorrow, I think he'd be a solid value. But once again, tough matchup against Embiid. But yeah, does have a ceiling. If you think he stays out of foul trouble, I completely understand going there. Denny had a big game off the bench last game. Oh no, I thought he had like 18 fantasy points, and like I guess he just didn't play that much. But with, like I said, with everyone healthy, he's not going to play a ton of minutes. Still playable, but I don't think I can go there. I think that'll do it for Washington. Let's move over to Philly. So you guys already know what I'm going to say. I always target Daniel Gafford, and what better thing? And what better player to target Daniel Gafford against? And I think there's two guys that stick out in my head. Nikola Jokic and Joel Embiid. So I think Embiid looks great tomorrow in a phenomenal matchup going up against Daniel Gafford. I always want to attack Daniel Gafford, so I like Joel Embiid quite a bit. I think this game will stay close. I think he's just going to eat up Gafford for breakfast, lunch, dinner, everything. So yeah, I really like Embiid for GPPs tomorrow. If he's going to be low owned, even better. James Harden, price came down. He's been playing extremely well. He's also playing huge minutes right now. He's probably going to get you close to a triple-double as well. I think he's an okay to solid play. I don't know. I haven't looked at all the spend-ups on this slate. But Damian Lillard is only $600 more, so I might, would I rather play Dame for $600 more, or would I rather play Harden? I think I'd rather play Dame, but I think both the top two guys for Philly look decent. Everyone else is basically out of play for me. Like Maxey is overpriced now with everyone healthy. Tobias Harris seems priced about right. It's hard for me to go there. D'Anthony Melton minutes back on a downtrend. Still, he'll probably play like some games he will play over 30 minutes if he's playing well, but other games he could only play around 20 minutes and kill you. So there is a high variance with D'Anthony Melton, but he could still pop off. He's playable. Not going to go out of my way to play him. Like, if I land on him as a last minute, I think it's okay, but I think he's way, way overpriced right now for the role that he is in. I don't know if the industry is going to disagree with me there, but me being a Sixers fan, I think I know what I'm talking about with the Sixers, and I think he's overpriced. Outside of that, I don't think there's anyone else. Niang basically out of the rotation right now. Um, yeah, not much else on Philly. Let's go for Portland. So we do have Simons back. I believe he's still on a limit, or only played 30 minutes, which I would assume is a limit because he was playing high 30s minutes in the past. Definitely hurts Dame a bit. But hold on. But Dame still has a ceiling, right? He's gonna play almost 40 minutes a game. He's one of the scariest fades in DFS. Like Steph used to be the scariest fade. I think Dame might have surpassed him as like the most ass clenching DFS fade ever at chalk. If you don't have him, has to be like Damian Lillard. It just has to be because his ceiling is absolutely insane. Once again, it's a very it's a much different spot here up against the Pelicans. It's definitely not a good matchup. It's still better than Philly. I think he's solid. Always as a tournament play. I think it's going to be an ownership thing for me. I think Simons coming back definitely does hurt him. Let's check out his rates with Simons on the court. If you guys don't know what this is NBA Wowie. And what we can do here is we can look at what Dame averages with Simons on and off the court. Okay, so with Simons on the court, he averages 1.4. What just happened? .43 with Simons on the court. Let's take him off. 1.68. So he loses about, what, 0.3, which is definitely a significant loss, but obviously it's Damian Lillard. He's going to have the ball in his hands a ton. Peripheral stats way up of late, so yes, I do like Dame at 10.5K, even with Simons back. Jeremy Grant with Simons back definitely takes a hit, but he does have a ceiling. Not too interested here. I think I'd much rather play CJ McCollum around the same price. Simons himself, if he's only going to play around 30 minutes, I think he's still in play, but just a GPP play to me personally. Nurkic did play 26 minutes last game. Got into a bit of foul trouble as well. If they're going to play Nurk, increase minutes and play around 30 minutes, this price tag is too cheap. So I really have a ton of interest in Yusuf Nurkic tomorrow. Especially if the Pelicans are going to keep going small. He could absolutely feast here. So if we're going to get his minutes increased and he's going to play around 30 minutes tomorrow, this price tag I think is too cheap. So I do like Nurkic quite a bit for GPPs. We'll see what the ownership is going to be. I was surprised, but Cam Reddish still played a ton of minutes. I think he's a reasonable value. Thibault, his minutes are kind of on a downtrend of late, so you can't really go there. He's a guy that kind of needs the minutes to get there. And then really hard to go to anyone else with Simons back. Let's move on to the Pelicans. So we have Brandon Ingram questionable. I don't know if he will be playing here, but we can go over it both ways. If he plays, when's the last game? 308. He played on 308. Just take a look here. Sorry, guys. This is the first time I'm looking at the slate. Unfortunately, my best friend passed away today, so I'm trying to get this done pretty quick, so I apologize. So, I just want to see what Najee Marshall played. 25, 30. Okay, cool. So, if Ingram's in, I think the main guys look good, and Ingram and CJ, these two are going to lead the way offensively. They're both going to play, I don't know, CJ probably mid 30s minutes, Brandon Ingram high 30s minutes. So, I think the main two guys are good GPP plays, especially on a slate with not a ton of value. The Pelicans are going very, very small of late, so it's hard for me to pay that price for Jonas Valanciunas. I think I'd much rather go to Yusuf Nurkic. If Ingram's in, they're still gonna play Trey Murphy big minutes, so I think he looks like a pretty safe play in the mid range. Even if Ingram's in, Herb Jones more of a contrarian play. Josh Richardson is back. When was the last game he played? 308. Was that with Ingram in? It was. I don't think he started that game though. I think it was still Trey. Yeah, it was Trey Murphy. So keep an eye on that. If Trey Murphy starts, I still stand by it. I think he's a pretty safe play in the mid range. If Josh Richardson starts, I definitely have more interest in him. Still a fine value of 4.5K if he's only going to play mid 20s minutes. Najee Marshall, I think, is solid. Even if Ingram's in, I think he'll play low 20s minutes. Not a lot of value on the slate. So I like Najee Marshall either way. And I wouldn't get to anyone else. But if Ingram's out, then CJ McCollum looks amazing at 7.5K. He would just have to do everything for this team. I would really like CJ McConnell. I would like Trey Murphy a lot at 5.5K. He's going to have to do a lot more. I would like him a lot. Herb Jones would be solid. Najee Marshall would become one of the best value plays in the slate because they're going smaller. They're going a lot smaller of late. And if they continue, why did I just pull up that? Pelicans. And if they're going to continue to go smaller with Najee Marshall, now I know it was against the Thunder, but Najee Marshall's been playing extremely well. Played 36 minutes tonight. Herb Jones. Why did Herb only play 18 minutes? Is he in foul trouble? Can someone in the comments let me know if Herb got into massive foul trouble tonight? Because that could impact things. But I think if Ingram's out, I still really like Najee Marshall for value. Dyson Daniels would be playable if Ingram's out. Probably plays around 20 minutes. Guy that can stuff the stat sheet would have no issue going there. And I don't think I would be going into anyone else. Can someone please let me know if Herb Jones got into massive foul trouble tonight? I would think that would be it. Did he get injured? Either way, I like Najee Marshall quite a bit if Ingram's out. Yeah, sorry this is all over the place, guys. Like I said, best friend passed away today. I need to get this done. Haven't done any research. So this game looks amazing personally for me. Like, not all the players, but I like this game quite a bit. So Shy playing normal minutes right now, 9.1K is just too cheap. He looks absolutely amazing to me in a phenomenal matchup. Spurs get cooked by guards, fast-paced game. I love SGA. I think Josh Giddey's even solid at 8K. Jalen Williams loses a lot of ball handling when everyone's healthy, so I don't think I'll be going to him at 7.1K. Dort, okay option. Isaiah Joe still playing mid-20s minutes, reasonable value, does have a ceiling. Jalen Williams probably plays around 20 minutes, okay value, doesn't really stand out to me, and I think that's all I'll be going to on OKC. So under the Spurs, we have Keldon and Sochan questionable. They did not start Trey Jones last game. I don't know what they're doing with the starting lineup. I really, really don't. Is there anything? Just trying to see if there was an update. I really don't know what they're doing with the starting. They started Brandham. They started Vassell. They started Zach Collins. They started Keldon. And they started Sochan. If these guys are in, I like the ceiling quite a bit on Keldon. I finally fade and he goes for 46 fantasy points, but I like to correlate here in this game. If I'm going to play SGA, I like having another piece on the Spurs just because I think this game environment is very, very good for DFS. So I would try to get to at least one Spur if you're going to play this game. I think they all look good. Keldon, probably the highest ceiling of the bunch, probably will play the most minutes as well. So I like the ceiling on Keldon. I think Zach Collins is reasonable in a really good matchup. I think Devin Vassell has a ceiling at 5'8". I would prefer Keldon and Sochan to be out, but fine option. Trey Jones only played 25 minutes off the bench. If he comes off the bench again and plays 25 minutes, I think he's solid at 5.1K. Seems a bit too cheap. Devontae Graham's been out of the rotation. I wouldn't play him. If they start Branham again, he's playable. Like I said, not someone I'm going to go out of my way to play, but playable. And Doug McDermott in his first game back played 28 minutes. I think he is a solid value. Pretty scoring reliant though, so yeah. But if Keldon and Sochan are out, I don't know what they'll do with the starting lineup. Do they go Branham, Vassell? Do they start McDermott and Katie Bates-Diop and then Zach Collins? I really don't know. Do they start Langford? I know Langford's back. They could start. See a DMP? I guess he was a DMP. So we'll see. I don't know what they'll do with the starting lineup, but if they start like Trey Jones, Devin Vassell, with no Keldon, I really like Vassell at 5.8K. Trey Jones, I like regardless. Even if he comes off the bench or starts, I think 5.1K is reasonable. There's no value on this slate. Branham, if he starts, like I said, with those two guys out, he'll have a bigger role. Katie Bates-Diop, I would like quite a bit for value as well, assuming he moves into the starting lineup with no Keldon, no Sochan. And then Doug McDermott would get a boost. I think he would be a solid value. So keep it on that Sochan Keldon news, and then we'll go from there. On to the Knicks. So it's a good spot. I think, if Brunson's in, there's not too much that stands out to me. RJ and Quickly would be overpriced. I think Mitch is in a good spot. I always like his ceiling for GPPs. Randall would take a hit with Brunson in. I think I'd much rather play SGA or, James Harden. We'll see. I don't know. Dame, not my highest ranked spend up, but would be playable. And I wouldn't go to anyone else. But if Brunson's out, that does change a bit. I think Randall gets boost. He would be solid in a good matchup. RJ Barrett would get a boost. He would be okay. Price is about right. Same with Quickly. I still think would be a solid play. Played 42 minutes today. Just the minutes, man. So I would like the big three here for if Brunson is out. Like I said, but RJ Quickly are about at the price points to where they should be. Still like Mitch's ceiling. Josh Hart, I think, would be a very, very safe play at 5.3K. Quentin Grimes will play a ton of minutes. Very, very low usage, but would be a viable value play. Let's move on to the Lakers. So 80 is probable. Once again, tough matchup here, but I think 10-7 is okay with LeBron out. Going to depend on what the Knicks do. Very, very tough spot. I think I'd rank point per dollar like SGA ahead of him, Embiid ahead of him. So probably my third favorite spend up, close to Dame. D'Lo played 30 minutes last game, 6.8K, no LeBron, gonna have a ton of usage. I have no issues if you want to go to him. I'm intrigued by him for GPPs quite a bit. I think Schroeder's overpriced, Vanderbilt's overpriced. Malik Beasley minutes went on a downtrend last game. Hard for me to go there. Austin Reeves been playing extremely, extremely well off the bench. Role has been good as well. I think he's perfectly fine at 5K. And Troy Brown will get minutes, but very low usage, but a viable value play at 4.3K. Rui will probably play, 18 to 20 minutes. Another viable punt. Wenyen Gabriel probably gets the backup 5, probably plays, 15-ish minutes. Another viable min-price punt. So I think that'll do it, guys. I hope you guys had a great night. Sorry for the sporadic video. Like I said, yeah, it's been a pretty rough day, guys. So I'll talk to you tomorrow.